Hey everyone, it's Mike again, and guess what? I'm talking about seeds again. It's coming up to that time where we start planting the garden. So, I'm going to talk about today how I plan and schedule my planting. All right, so come on. Okay, hey everyone. You'll probably notice that today I'm in a shed. I'm out in my shed. I'm trying to clean out an area here in the shed that I can use for my planting. You see I've been doing some insulation and I've got a heat source. So I'm going to try to maintain temperature in here so that I can do my pre-planting in pots and keep it in the shed because my location in the house is no longer available. So this is my other option until I get my greenhouse up and running. So we're going to make this shed work this year, and this is what we're going to do. So that's why I got lots of insulation. I'm going to take a look at this. All right, so here's what we got. This is my seed collection for this year. And you'll notice it's a lot of seeds. I have a lot of stuff planned for the garden this year. So there it is. So how do I know when to plant things, what to plant, and all that? So let's go over that right now. All right. Okay, so here's what I do. Here's what I use. I'm old school, so I have a notebook and I have my Farmer's Almanac 2023. So this is what I use. This is exactly what I use. So I'll use my notebook. I'll write down all of my seeds. And what I do is, and I really like these seeds from M.I. Gardner this year because on the back of these seed packets, it actually says if you want to start indoors, it tells you when, 2 to 3 weeks before frost or something before the end of frost. If you want to direct sow, then it'll say 3 to 4 weeks after the last frost. This is for cucumbers. So it tells you when to start indoors and when to start outdoors. So that's good. So I write that all down on my notebook so that I have an easy reference. When does it say to plant indoor or outdoor? Some of them don't have an indoor planting because the best thing to do is direct sow them in the garden. And then there was actually a couple of them that didn't have any direct sow directions. It wanted you to plant them indoors to start and then transplant them out into the garden at a later time. So that's what's good about those packets. It's right on the packets. You don't have to look that stuff up. But if it's not on your packets, which a lot of companies don't always have the indoor start dates on the packet, you can always look that stuff up. Generally, I just Google it. But once you have those dates, you need to know what does it say? It said 3 to 4 weeks before the last frost if we want to start indoors, and 3 to 4 weeks after the last frost if we want to start outdoors. Well, what date is that? Well, if that's where the handy dandy almanac comes in, or if you want a more direct, go to the USDA website, and on there you can enter in your zip code, and it'll tell you exactly when your expected last frost is for this year. And so you'll have an exact date. And so from the USDA website, for us in Locustdale, Virginia, that's where I'm at, it's April 9th. So my last frost date is supposed to be April 9th. I'm in zone 7A. And so that's my last frost date. So if I have a seed that says 3 to 4 weeks before the last frost date, you should start them indoors. Well, 3 to 4 weeks before April 9th is around March 9th, right? And then if it says 3 to 4 weeks after the last frost date, start them outdoors, well, then I would start it May 9th. So something like that. However, then I also refer to the almanac here. One other thing I look at is I like to plant by the moon's phase. Now, it's probably an old superstition, but this is what I do because this is what I was taught when I was younger by some older people. And so I plant by the moon's phase. So you can look up. And so if I know that I need to plant 4 weeks before the last frost, well, that will be in March. Well, I can look in here and I can find out that in March, I'm going to look real quick here. So in March of this year, the way they want you to plant is if it's above ground vegetables, you plant during the new moon to a full, in between the new moon to the full moon. If it's underground vegetables, you plant from the full moon to the new moon. So in those times. So the new moon starts in March on the 21st day of March. So if I had something that said plant 3 to 4 weeks before the last frost, well, I would plant it probably on that 21st day of March because that's when I would plant by the moon's phase. So since that is an above ground vegetable. So that's what I do. So I write all this stuff in my notebook so that I have, like I said, it's a quick reference. And then after I get everything recorded, I know exactly when each one is going to be planted indoors or outdoors, or sometimes both. I write them both down so I can decide. And then I will enter that into, well, I guess I'm recording on my phone, but on my phone, you have a calendar in your phone. I just put an entry in my calendar on the phone and say, this is when I need to start seeds indoors, and I'll put a list of the seeds that need to start on that time frame. Now, generally in the book here, it gives you a range of dates. It's not a specific date. It'll say like, oh, from the March 21st through April 1st, you should plant. Well, now you have that many days. So I'll put the reminder. Whoa, what happened? Okay, we're back. We lost power, so suddenly went black. But okay, now we're back. So like I was saying, I'll just put reminders in my calendar and say, oh, these seeds have to start on this day, these seeds have to start on this day, and there'll be a range of days that I put in the calendar that each of those seeds have to start. And so that way I get the reminder that hey, it'll pop up the day before the date starts, and then it'll say, hey, you need to think about planting your seeds. So I've already gone through, I'm going to go through some quick ones here. I need to take my glasses off to read. So actually, according to the seed packets, the ones that I can start indoors right now in the end of January is celery, pepper, and broccoli. It says to go ahead and start now indoors. So now the range of dates goes from the end of January through about February 6th. So I have a little bit of time. So I'll be setting that up. That's why I'm trying to get my shed set up here, ready to go. I'll bring out my grow light bar and set everything up over here and get ready to plant and grow my indoor seeds. But a lot of them won't start till the end of February or to the end of March. Like I said, probably about February 20th and March 21st are a lot of dates that I would start on my indoor planting. The outdoor planting, obviously, all of them are saying right around the last frost or afterwards. There are a couple that say you can plant, like lettuce, you can plant a little bit before that, even outside. So carrots, cilantro for some reason, but yeah, there's quite a few seeds that you can start outside even before the last frost, as long as you protect them in some way. So but that is my plan. That's how I do my planning, and I like to do that in January because, well, it turns out there's 3 things I need to plant coming up here in the next few weeks. So hey, let me know what you do to plan for your seeds, and probably next week when I start actually getting the seeds ready to plant, I'll show you another thing that I do that is helpful, and it is a little bit cheaper than buying those seed trays and having to transplant pot after pot. So I'll give you some ideas of what I do there in the next video all about seeds. So if you like my videos, let me know what you do to plan for your garden, and then also, make sure to share this with your friends, and also subscribe, like. I'm trying to build up my subscribers, so come on out. And I guess I'll see you next week.